Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows I am your host, Papa Joe, and I wanted to say thank you all for being here today. If you are new to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe, grab the bell, and you'll know when I go live. I do try to do those starting every day at 12:30, and I do three separate videos about different topics and have fun with that. So tune in. I love it that you guys and gals are here. Thank you for being part of the show. Today, on this particular segment, we are going to take a look at the Inflation Reduction Act, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it. And I know. Everyone's sitting there going, why are you talking about that? Yeah, well, we're going to talk about it because it has a serious impact on all of our lives. It really, really does. I love it that you guys and gals are here, so thank you for being part of the show. And yeah, let's dig into what's happening here, shall we? So, the Inflation Reduction Act could be the most impactful climate legislation of our lifetimes. Sun CEO. Oh, it'll be the most impactful of our lifetimes because it's going to tip, I think it's going to tip inflation over the edge. Guys and gals, they're trying to say they're going to fight inflation with this bill. Hmm. Hmm. Hang on just a second here. I have. Sorry about that. I. Where was I? Sorry. Inflation Reduction Act. They're literally trying to put inflation out, the fire of inflation out, with gasoline as the fuel. Hey, here's a gas. Here's some fuel. Here's some water. We're gonna try. Whoops, guys, gals. They're legitimately pouring gasoline on the fire, and the average American isn't asleep anymore. We're not asleep anymore to the fact that I don't know, that inflation is a problem because the grocery stores. I mean, you go to your local grocery. For most families, you're going to sit there and spend maybe $150 for a week. Now they're spending $250, 300, $450. That is unsustainable. When people start spending more money than they take in, that is a problem. Paycheck to paycheck is not a good thing. When you have the vast majority of the people in your country, it's not okay. The Senate passed the Inflation Reduction Act on Sunday, and the legislation is being hailed by the CEO of a residential solar powered provider as perhaps the most important climate bill in modern history. How does Inflation Reduction Act have anything to do with climate? You got to ask yourselves, what the heck did they put in here? We're sitting on the precipice. Interesting choice of words. Of what could be the most impactful climate legislation of our lifetimes. Yeah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mary Powell, CEO of Sun Runs, told Yahoo Finance, we're really excited about it. I'm sure you are because people are going to have to go buy solar panels. Solar panels don't work unless you're in an off-grid situation where you don't need a lot of power. We really see it as fundamentally accelerating this customer-led revolution. Sure, to a much more sustainable, independent, resilient, and affordable energy system for Americans. If passed, which it was, a $369 billion deal would be a major breakthrough in clean energy efforts in the U.S. Although some provisions for the oil and gas industry have received pushback. Hmm. Many of them Many have cheered the bill as a significant step forward in tackling climate change. Baloney. I don't understand at all where they think this is going to work. Let's go over here. Let's see. Where was it? According to the preliminary analysis by independent research provider Rhodium, the Inflation Reduction Act would reduce greenhouse gases emissions by 31% by 31% to 44% from 2005 levels by 2030. Yeah, no. That pushes the U.S. closer toward the Paris Agreement goal of limiting global warming by 1.5 degrees Celsius. Y'all know that when that happens, that the actually would cause a I don't know, an ice age. Yep. See, God set in motion certain things to be set up in the way that they do, almost like an algorithm. It's going to do what it's going to do. Scripture tells us that lightning bolts report to God and ask where to strike. It tells them, and they obey. It says that the water in the ocean tells the water that you shall go no further, and it obeys. Scripture also talks about how in the storm when he and the other disciples are on the boat, he calmed the winds and the waves. The storm stopped at the sound of his voice. And yet they think man's arrogance, pride, thinks that they can reduce the degrees by 1.5 degrees Celsius. Well, 3 consecutive years of a decrease in temperature will cause the snowfall to increase exponentially. And then that will cause a compounding issue because the ground will stay frozen and the earth will actually cool off, which will cause a mini ice age. We're also going into a grand solar minimum right now. So that's an entirely different subject for an entirely different day. Yeah. They're going to spend more money. They're literally saying, we're going to fight inflation with this. We're going to go spend this money because we want to push the climate stuff. Don't ignore the climate stuff. But once it's passed, we'll talk all about the climate stuff. When are we the people going to have enough? Because I've had enough. Most of the reduction in the U.S. emissions would come from tax credits for clean energy products. So basically, they're not going to require businesses to actually not produce any more carbon emissions. No. No, they're going to require that they buy tax credits or emissions credits to pay for what they put out. In other words, they're just creating this big old piggy bank again. Yeah, because the military-industrial complex has kind of been, and the knees knocked out from underneath them. They're trying to figure something else out. Yeah. No, they're actually people are just going to buy them, and they're going to pay whatever they need to pay for them so they can continue on as a business. The proposed legislation also aimed to invest in clean technologies such as carbon capture that have yet to scale. Scaling that would be insane. There are also provisions aimed to increasing domestic manufacturing for batteries, solar, and offshore wind. Make no mistake, Powell said, part of what this does is provide stability for the industry in terms of the work it's already doing for customers. Okay. Another notable feature of the legislation focuses on making green technology more affordable for customers. One program sets aside $4.5 billion for rebates to help households electrify their homes with more energy efficient applications and heat pumps. Electric vehicle owners may also be eligible for an expanded tax credit because when they have to replace their batteries, it costs the new vehicle cost. They're literally using gasoline to put out a fire by printing more money about something that doesn't actually affect the economy at all. And they would argue that. They would argue that, oh, we're going to produce more jobs for solar panels, more jobs for batteries, more jobs for that. And it's going to cause significant problems. You cannot plow a field with a battery operated tractor. You cannot drive across the country very easily on battery. You cannot effectively produce enough energy to power your house because, I don't know, it's dark outside half the time and that there's at 24 hours. They think people are stupid. We see you. We, the people, are tired of this. We, the people, are not okay with you spending any more money. Because when you spend that kind of money, guess what? That takes money out of our pockets, out of my kids' mouths, out of my amazing subscribers' mouths. It's not okay. You can't do this anymore. We're done. This is why cryptocurrency and specifically blockchain technology gives us, the people, the freedom that we need to circumvent all of this crap. Listen, I hope y'all have enjoyed the new format. I do appreciate all of you being part of the shows. Trying this out for a couple of weeks, seeing if it works because the algorithm has changed. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Check the bell. And if you like the content that you've seen so far in the shows, there have been 3, so go back and watch the other 2 if you haven't. If you like content, do me a favor, smash the likes. I would greatly appreciate it, and it does help YouTube know that there's good content here. Y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. I should see you on my regular Patreon show this afternoon, which will have the normal regular format. So take it easy. Talk to you later.